This next fighter could end up in the UFC with just 2 more victories.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event.
Live from HBF Stadium Festival Hall. Melbourne Pavilion.
Not even backstage, we're literally outside. Was that the best fight card in Australian MMA history?
Call me crazy, but make sure you call me when I'm right.
Be good if the Aussie MMA Instagram page would give us a bit of glow up because we're killing.
Welcome to the Australian MMA Podcast. My name is Mitch Tinley and today's guest is New Zealander Anzac Lawrence Louis. He's in the semi-finals of Road to UFC on August 22nd, taking on Van E. It's a Y. Ngim. He's taking him on in the semi-finals of the Road to UFC tournament. Now, it's a tournament where it started with about 8 fighters of the Oceanic region, Asia, Australia, New Zealand, that area. 8 men, and then over the course, I think it was back in June, and then August, and then I think the final was probably October, November. And then the winner of that gets a UFC contract. So Lawrence Louis is a 6-1 professional fighter. His only loss was a split decision loss to Anthony Drillich, who was Australian champion and had his shot at a Dana White Contender Series. So Lawrence is kind of really sort of well regarded in the world of regional MMA in Australia and New Zealand. He was a bit of a surprise into the Road to UFC tournament. Not that he is not skilled enough, but the likes of Don Marfan, Jack Becker, Seb Saleh, Aaron Toe, all those guys were kind of like expecting to sort of get an opportunity, where Lawrence came out and got his opportunity. He explains he was an alternate and eventually got his chance. And like Daniel Cormier back in the day as an alternate in the Strikeforce Grand Prix, he put a beat down on his opponent and now has an opportunity to hopefully get a shot in the finals of the Road to UFC tournament where, yeah, like I said, if he wins that, he will pick up a UFC contract. There will be no denying no one's opinion, no performance-based, just if he gets the victory, he should pick it up. Now, we talked to Lawrence. He trains out of City Kickboxing, of course, the home to Israel Adesanya, Dan Hooker, Navajo Sterling, all the absolute studs, hosted by the great Eugene Behrman. Now, Lawrence Louis, we find out sort of if his family sort of enjoys his mixed martial arts career, what his plans are, how he got into the sport, and what we can expect come August 22nd. So, ladies and gentlemen, first, I want to say thanks to our partners, of course, Vex MMA. We couldn't do life without them. Our gym partner, DCA MMA. And, of course, if you've got a gym, you need public liability. You've got an event. You got questions. Maybe your broker sucks and you don't know much about insurance. Hit up combatsportsinsurance.au or just hit me up. I'll put you in the right direction. Also, shout out with Vex MMA. Got some new gear coming out, some new videos soon, some new information that you're going to absolutely love, and an amazing prize pack heading into UFC Fight Night in Perth. So, subscribe, like, do what you need to do, Australian MMA _. But right now, it's Lawrence Louis. Ladies and gentlemen, joining me on the show for the first time, it's Lawrence Louis. Mate, welcome.
The myth, the legend himself, Mitch Tinley.
How are you, mate? Now, you're taking on, and this is how much of an esteemed journalist I am, Van E. Ngim.
Something, yeah, that's his name. Something like that. I can't pronounce it either.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
here I was thinking I was the the insensitive one.
No, it's a very tough name to pronounce for non-Vietnamese fellows.
No, mate, August 22nd, obviously road to UFC competition. What's it been like, first of all? Like, is it a weird sort of tournament to be in?
I just take them as a new fight. Each opponent, each fight, that's the most important fight of my career and of my life, really. And I treat it as such. And
how did the Road to UFC tournament come about? Was it sort of floated to you previously as an option, or was it last minute? Like, how did it all happen?
It was floated to me around the end of last year. Mark Timms, he put my name down, and so I kind of had like an inkling, like an idea that I might be on this. When they first announced the brackets for the quarterfinals, they confirmed me as the ninth person on the bracket, as the first alternate. And what do you know, someone couldn't make it, and I filled their spot.
And because I mean, I think you hadn't fought in a year from that moment. Did you think like, oh man, I probably would have had to have been more active before they called me up? Like, were you surprised when they gave you the call?
I wasn't too surprised. Like, nothing really surprises me, to be honest. But I would have liked another fight, but just chatting with my coaches, they weren't sure whether I was in or not.
Now, mate, in the tournament, like obviously a year out from when you got called, obviously the alternate and all that sort of stuff, you know your skills are top level because, I mean, anyone that trains at CKB, you could be the absolute worst fighter at CKB and still one of the best pros in the world. Is it like, did this fit your big grand plan? Because I'm always pretty honest here, but keep in mind, I'm an idiot. I was a bit surprised when your name got brought up. Like your skill levels are obviously there, but you know, the Donmar fans, everyone's like been going on about for ages. Jack Becker, you've kind of slipped under the radar a little bit. Did you feel like that was the case, or should I just delete my whole podcast?
No, I did feel like that was the case. I knew, and when the brackets came out, looking at the names, I knew I was one of the least experienced guys in that bracket. But I trust my skill set. I trust my coaches. I trust my training partners. I trust me. And I knew like what I lacked in experience, I could bring to the table into the tournament, like everything I could bring.
Do you think they saw something in you in your earlier fights, or do you think your record just fit well? Like, what do you think it was that kind of got you over the line? Does your coach have to do a reference for you, or what do you think was the magic?
I had to submit some sort of like a highlight reel. Other than that, like I didn't really think about what I brought, like what got me over the line. I got over the line, and that's really all that matters to me.
Oh, mate, you're not like you really are like a real hidden gem in the sport as well. Like you said, like just watching your first fight, if anyone had any doubts if you belong, I mean, that must have felt good as well. Like you said, you were an alternate, which makes you think that you're not the first choice. You then get on and you put on that performance. Surely that you go, yeah, no, now you know what I know.
Yeah, that kind of confirmed to me as well. Like, yeah, I belong here. I belong in this in the chat.
Were you a little bit nervous though going in, or have you always felt like a bit of an underdog in your career?
Truthfully, I always feel like I have to work my ass off to belong, and I think just because at the back of my mind, like there's this little voice in my head that tells me I'm not good enough, and it could just be like some sort of childhood trauma. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, that's why I work so hard in the gym, and this is why like these fights for me are like irrefutable proof that I do belong for myself.
I think, I mean, I know the goal is obviously to win, but even with that performance alone, it's pretty cool to go, oh, no. I'm like, now people know like I'm that sort of top level. Why do you think there is a bit of doubt in your head going into this sort of stuff? Because like you said, your skills are top notch. Were you not a confident kid growing up?
Nah, I don't think so. Nah, definitely not. I think the sport just has grown my confidence and just my belief in myself. That's what was your question again?
I was gonna say, like, why do you feel sort of that you don't have that confidence? Or like, I mean, I know you're confident in your skill and your ability, but why do you think that little voice in your head is saying, oh, you might not be good enough?
Just the way I am. Like just the way I guess I was brought up, like maybe Asian dad saying never saying I'm proud of you. I don't know. I hope he doesn't see this. Yeah, some stuff like that. Something along the lines of that. Something about my upbringing that makes me the way I am.
Well, I mean, you bring that up, and I know that a lot of the Asian families are not necessarily stoked when you go into fighting. How's the family? Do they like you? Do they approve of your journey?
My mum is fully supportive. My dad, I can't really gleam on what he thinks. I can't really gleam off his reactions.
Just so when you win the
I
UFC
think,
championship,
yeah,
he just goes,
nice, nice.
Does he give you any like obviously he's seen you like win and you're very good at what you do. So surely he knows that you are talented, yeah?
I'm sure he knows, and I'm sure I think he's proud in his own way. Like he doesn't necessarily um maybe say that he's proud in the way that you and I might like to think, or might like to, but I know maybe deep down he is.
I would have thought that like martial arts, even in any sort of Asian culture, Asian family would be like up there, you know?
Well, like growing up, like I wasn't really I didn't really take this sport serious until I was an adult. I dabbled a little bit in Muay Thai and a little bit in Jiu-Jitsu. It was mainly my mum taking me to and from there. And yeah, once I moved out, I wanted to do something.
Why did you pick mixed martial arts?
I had always had an interest in it, I think. And also it was around the time where Conor McGregor was coming up. And like he was taking the sport by storm, the world by storm. I don't really look up to him now. He's kind of turned into a piece of shit, but yeah.
Yeah, it's I always see those TikToks of him like dancing and partying, and then it always cuts back to when he's like partying is like weakness for the soul. And I'm like, I feel like all of us that are fans are a bit like, oh, like we really miss him.
I miss the old Conor.
But were you like
No, I think
yeah, there you go.
I think that Conor was always there, just the money brought it out.
Yeah, it's actually, I always say that, like, and it goes with anything, even with like hard work and stuff. Like, pressure doesn't make diamonds, it reveals them. And that's sort of
Yes.
the same sort of thing. Like, there are some people that weigh 150 kilos and hate their lives and all that sort of stuff. And in there is like a world champion, and you just got to find it. But there's some
Yeah.
people that weigh 150 kilos and hate their lives, and that's just who they are. Like, they don't have that. Like, they're not blessed with that ability to find out who they are as a person. And I feel like, was there a moment in your life where you went, oh, holy shit, I'm built for this?
I wouldn't say necessarily a single moment, but just like moment, just a steady flow of action, I guess, like a steady flow of events, actions, fights that built myself up, or that built that up for me.
And did you get in trouble as a kid or anything? Or is this more of a sport for you, less of like self-defense journey?
I didn't really get into trouble. I mean, I like to. That didn't mean I didn't get into fights, but I didn't go out of my way looking for trouble.
And in terms of city kickboxing, how did you stumble upon that?
I was studying in uni. It was between my first and second year, and I was looking for a place to do some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and that was really just one of the closest places.
Inspirational stuff.
Just stumbled across it, yeah. But cut that bit out. Was broke. Please edit it.
No, I like that, because everyone always has this like, oh, I knew city kickboxing was like the best, and so I like journeyed there, and I trained for that moment, and I hope I'd belong. And you're just like, it was the one that was closest to me.
Yeah, pretty much. It wasn't like a pilgrimage, a pilgrim sort of like journey for me. It was just stumbled upon it, and it just happened to be the right fit.
And how long you been in New Zealand for?
Since 1999.
You got a shit New Zealand accent.
What do you mean?
You sound Aussie.
No, that's offensive, bro. That's,
Don't try.
maybe because I'm talking to a white fella, I'm widening up my voice. I could be a lot more like, oh, bro. Could be
Yeah.
more like that.
Yeah, there's none of that. There's none of that. Cam Rouston sounds more New Zealander than you.
I have heard people say that he sounds a bit of a hybrid accent. I wouldn't say he sounds more Kiwi than me.
Have you traveled anywhere else for training? Have you ever done like camps to Thailand or anything like that?
Not really, nah. Like I've based most of my career here. Only when I travel overseas would I train like at another gym, but that honestly doesn't like that's mostly for fights and stuff and a week, at most a week at a time, never for a camp.
I feel like City Kickboxing, I know there's a few quiet guys, but I feel like it's like a really personality-driven gym, and you seem like a little bit more subdued. You just kind of like, do you get out there a bit more with your teammates, or do you just kind of watch them sort of make all the noise?
I prefer to watch people make the noise. Like I'd rather just be quiet on the sideline and just shut up and do the work.
Does the shit talking in MMA bother you?
In the beginning it did, like, but now like it's kind of a part of the sport, and if it works for someone, it works for someone. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And I personally don't think it works for me, so I'm not gonna go out of my way to do any shit talking.
That's why I find it funny that you picked, Conor McGregor in a weird way, because I feel like everyone who normally talks shit is a big Conor McGregor fan, where the ones that are a little bit more subdued don't like his antics. Where did his antics sort of encourage you into the sport, or was it his in-ring performance?
It wasn't really his antics. It was just maybe it was something out the gate, like just his whole like rise, like meteoric, I would say.
Does it encourage you to, obviously where he is now in life, and we're all not the biggest fans of him right now, does it encourage you to sort of stay true to who you are as you rise?
Yes, 100%.
Cool. And do you have any, like, I don't know, younger siblings, younger friends and family that have sort of seen you get into MMA and want to like follow in the footsteps?
I've got one little brother. He's a year and a bit younger. He does a little bit of fighting as well, kickboxing. It's actually him who started first. He started doing this Muay Thai class, and being the nice older brother I wanted to be better. And I joined after him. But yeah, his main priority is his work, physio, and his building himself up. He's actually coming over to Shanghai, shadowing some of the physios at the PI.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like we had a chat with the physios back in May, and he came up in conversation and invited him like over if he was keen, and now he's coming over.
So you might get him to the UFC even before you.
Basically, yeah.
Now, mate, what do you do to sort of support the dream? Do you have to work on the side?
At the end of up till 2023, I was working retail, and then after end of 2023, I started working a laboring job, exterior plastering. That was pretty tough. And after that, I just started doing PTs, like personal training. And thanks, now that my just sponsors and PTs have been helping. Sponsors, Odyssey and Limit, Execute, and Met Limited. I have to shout them out.
Lovely. And I feel like you would have hated retail. Your personality doesn't scream, I love dealing with customers.
Oh, no. Nope. Yeah, it was. I like the people. I didn't like dealing with. I like my coworkers. I didn't really like dealing with people, and they're sometimes, can I say retarded? They're retarded questions.
Are you like an angry guy? Like, are you like, man, I just wish I could punch you in the face?
I was the like I mainly worked out back in the storeroom. I'm like packing stock. But whenever I had to go to the shop floor, I would like try to look as angry as possible so people wouldn't approach me. Didn't always work.
I love it. And mate, when you're not fighting, what do you get up to? What do you like doing in your spare time?
When I'm not fighting, like outside of camp, I'm basically always training. But to like reset, I like to I like to cook. I like to cook like stuff I haven't cooked before. I like to go on hikes every now and again. Yeah,
What do you cook?
anything. Like I like cooking my savory food. I think I've got a pretty good like beef rendang. Yeah, it's absolutely fire. And also like just random stuff I see on the internet. You know, when you're on fight week and you scroll through your feed and it's all food.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, how do you go
Yeah.
with all that sort of stuff? Can you make it like low in calories and all that sort of stuff to accommodate your fight week, or do you just have to go without?
On fight week, I don't usually make food. I mean, I don't usually make those sort of foods. But like in camp, if there's like some sort of like sweet that I can make low calorie, I will.
I love it, mate. And after it's all said and done, how does Lawrence Louis want to be remembered in mixed martial arts?
Um, like by other people, I don't care. I don't really care. Like I can be remembered how I want to be, how other people remember me. Um, I want to be remembered by my closest friends and family. Like everyone else is just background noise.
Wow. And how does this fight go down? August 22nd. How do you see it happening?
I beat his ass.
Mate, I
I
love
don't really
it.
predict fights. Like I just beat his ass.
Look, I do. I love it. I love the way you are. Please don't change. Even when you get to the top, I want this at the press conference. Just like
Yeah.
just this exact same energy. It's great. I hate always bringing it up, but I always talk about Jack Della. Like he just never changed. He was just like one word answers, was like, yep, round one, grab the cash, dash. And everyone's like, yay. So that's
Oh, that sounds like a good game plan. Like win in round one, grab the money. We don't get paid by the hour.
I love it, mate. Look, thank you so much for taking the time, and I look forward to you beating his ass August 22nd.
Thanks for having me.
See you later, brother.